Good morning, Jackednnerdy fans. Welcome to my non-spoiler review for the new Eli Roth film Borderlands. Before I jump into that review though, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on a video. And please give these videos a thumbs up. It greatly supports the channel and it doesn't cost you a thing. The more thumbs up we get, the more likely YouTube is to promote our channel to other users who may not be aware that we exist. So the more thumbs up we get, the more publicity we create. And as I said, it doesn't cost you a thing and it supports the channel immensely. So let's jump straight into it with Borderlands. So I was very, very apprehensive going into this film. I thought, like when they first said they were making this film, I was really excited. I thought, there was a lot of potential there. Full disclosure, I've never played the video games, but I am aware of them. And I thought there's a lot there that they can kind of dive into to create a really, a really cool movie. The visuals are most certainly spectacular in the game, so they could use the visuals, if anything, to kind of help bolster the film. Now, so I was very apprehensive going into this film because it hasn't been getting a lot of publicity and promotion through the cinemas. The trailers haven't really been getting pushed on any platforms, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Normally, in the lead up to a release of the film, like, you're getting bombarded with the trailers, promoting the film. This film, this time around, there was none of that really, which kind of said to me that the studio was not really all that into this property, or they didn't have a lot of faith in it. So very little press and publicity, no billboards anywhere or anything like that. So like I said, I was very, very nervous going into this film. To be honest, I didn't even realize that Eli Roth was involved in this property until the movie started and the opening credits started to roll. So this was written and directed by Eli Roth, who I'm actually quite a big fan of. I quite enjoy a lot of his work. That being said, this by far is his worst thing ever. I have to say. So look, I'm going to premise this, and now that being said, as I said, this is Eli Roth's worst film, but on the whole, I was very, very disappointed with this film. As I said, I think there was a lot there that they had going for them in terms of the obviously the video game franchises, the property itself. I feel this. Okay, to put it in a phrase, this film is. Now what did Mrs. Jackednnerdy say? It's spectacle over substance. So they very much do rely very heavily on the visuals of this film, the colours, the costumes, the visual effects, the just the bright colours and just kind of like the big nature of it, the scope. But there is very little to no storyline whatsoever. There's no substance or depth to the material. They don't go into any detail to explain things to audiences who do not know anything about the video game properties. It's very, very superficial, service level, storytelling. Practically no storytelling whatsoever. Which is a shame because, there's quite, as I said, it had quite a few things going for it. Casting wise, you had Jamie Lee Curtis, the original Scream Queen in there. You had Cate Blanchett, who I'm quite a big fan of, and she can do really, really great things. Like, I felt that both of them were so underutilized. It was ridiculous. Like, Cate Blanchett essentially is the lead actress in this film, and there's just very little to no depth to her character. They don't explain anything about her in any detail. They just expect you to accept things and just go with the flow and what have you. That's the thing. I think Jamie Lee Curtis and Cate Blanchett, are phenomenal actresses, and I think, and they were so horrendously underutilized in this film. It's just, borderline criminal. It's you've got other actors and actresses in it, like Ariana Greenblatt, who I found her to be irritating and annoying. Gina Gershon, who played Mad Moxie, I found her to be irritating and annoying, and her acting in it was horrible. You've got comedians Bobby Lee and Kevin Hart, who, I'm so over Kevin Hart. I really, really am. He just annoys me now. I don't find him amusing. I don't find him entertaining. He just annoys the fuck out of me, if I'm honest. And his character, his character played a fairly, a large role in the superficial story, but you could have taken Kevin Hart out of that role and you could have replaced him with absolutely anyone, and I think they would have done just as good, if not better. In all seriousness, there was basically, he's only in this film to give this film more star power, which I wouldn't even call it that, to be honest, because as I said, he's just oversaturated himself in the market, and I find him annoying, and I've had a gutful of him. I hate to say it as well, Jack Black, who I am a fan of. I like Jack Black. His character, Claptrap, again, I'm not familiar with the video game properties, so the video games themselves. So obviously, all of these characters, to people who play the video game, mean something, and there's a connection there. So, but I had no connection to any of these characters. Jack Black, who I love, his character was annoying as fuck. And again, you probably could have replaced his obviously his voice acting for a CG character. You could have replaced Jack Black with almost any other voice actor, and you wouldn't have even known. And they probably would have done just as good. But as I said, the character the character itself was very annoying and very irritating. And very superfluous. Really almost irrelevant. It didn't really do much. Again, you could have written the character out entirely, and the film would have been just as good. So look, I have to say, all in all, I was very, very disappointed with this film. I really didn't enjoy it all that much. Again, so visually, it's very beautiful. It's very spectacular. So visually they did a great job with the visual effects and the CG and what have you. There's a couple of action sequences, fighting action sequences, that I thought were really, really good and really enjoyable. I enjoyed the action sequences very much. The fighting and things like that. But other than that, that's only 2% of the whole film. Maybe 5 minutes out of how long does it go for? It's an hour and 40 minutes, and the action and fighting scenes maybe make up 5 to 10 minutes of it. That's it. So, as I said, look, I hate to say it, but I'm really disappointed with this film. I really did. It had so much going for it, but in the end was very, very poorly executed and what have you. At the moment, I did hear this morning when I woke up that it only had about a 3% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It has gone up a little bit to 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDB, it's only got a score of 4.6 out of 10, which again is not really good at all. Look, I mean, I'm just going to split hairs here. I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to say I'll give it 5 out of 10. It's just in the middle there. I mean, it's not a complete and utter disaster. I wasn't compelled to walk out of the cinemas as I have been with some other films. I could sit there and I could sit through it and what have you. But I have to say, is this a film that I'll go back and watch again? Not in a hurry. Not in a hurry whatsoever. Maybe I will when it comes out on streaming. Put it on in the background. Doesn't matter if I walk out of the room and come back 10 minutes later. But all in all, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch this movie again. It was to me, it was a complete and utter disaster. So that's my thoughts on Borderlands. Look, if you're heading out to the cinemas this weekend, go and see something else. Go and see Twisters or the Bike Riders or go and see almost anything other than Borderlands. It will be a waste of your money to go and see this film. I mean, if you have deep ties to the video games, maybe you'll enjoy it more. But if you have no knowledge of the video games, no history with it, just don't even waste your time. Bother it. Maybe better yet, hold on to your money this week. Don't go to the movies this week. Hold off till next week, because next week Alien Romulus comes out, which I'll be reviewing, and that is one of my I can't wait for that film. I'm so excited for it. So maybe if you were thinking about going to the movies this week, hold off, wait till next week, and we can go see Alien Romulus together and have a much better time. So that's my thoughts and opinions on Borderlands. It's a beautiful disaster because I don't even rate it really. So until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.